welcome to my channel. My name is Willow Rose Moondancer and I make videos here on YouTube about Wicca. Today I want to talk to you about something that is a really big misconception and it kind of drives me bonkers. And it's not wrong to initially think this way. I just think that in a lot of other parts of our lives we don't do this as much, and so I don't quite know why we do it with Wicca and witchcraft. And I have not told you what I'm talking about yet. So to end your confusion, I find that a lot of new witches or a lot of new Wiccans, they're always looking up stuff on how do I become a witch or how do I become a Wiccan. And if that's you, this video is for you. It's not to make you feel bad for asking those questions, but it's to let you know that you don't need to ask them. As I've done in lots of my other videos, I always refer to Christianity because it's something that I'm very familiar with from my past, and so I feel like I can talk about it educatedly and make fair comparisons between the two. So when one is looking to become a Christian, most people don't feel that anything has to happen or there's not anything that you really have to do to consider yourself a Christian. Some people will say that you have to be baptized or confirmed or something like that, depending on their denomination and what their denomination within Christianity believes in. However, I would say in general, most casual Christians would just say if you believe in the things that Christianity stands for, then that makes you a Christian. You don't have to do anything to gain that title. And becoming a witch and or becoming Wiccan is very, very similar. There's no real steps that you have to follow. Sure, some traditions, some denominations within Wicca would say that you need to become initiated or you have to do a dedication, but in general, in most casual practices, one does not have to do any of that. I have not had a dedication. I intend to, but the moment just hasn't felt right for me yet. I want it to be significant and important, and I want to treat it so when it happens. And for once, it's one thing that I would really like to be formal. I don't usually do formal stuff in my practice, and I really want that to be formal. And I haven't been initiated. I've done a lot of research and a lot of my own personal study, but I've not done any year-in-a-day studies or anything of that sort. And I still consider myself to be a Wiccan. I don't really use the label of witch, but by all intents and purposes, I would be considered one, I would think. I practice the occasional witchcraft. I partake in a considerable amount of divination, which in and of itself is magical, which would then classify that person as a witch if they chose to identify that way. So there's really nothing that you need to do to be considered a Wiccan other than to believe the general beliefs of Wicca. And to be a witch, one just has to practice witchcraft. Nothing else. And witchcraft comes in all kinds of forms. It could be actually doing spells, it could be doing divination, it could look like kitchen magic, or it could look like visualization or law of attraction. Like there's lots and lots of different ways that one can use magic and therefore consider themselves to be a witch. However, I know that sometimes it feels like you need to get past a certain hurdle to be able to identify a certain way. I know a lot of people struggle with calling themselves a musician or an artist or anything like that until they've gotten to a certain level of talent. And I'm sure other people feel the same way about identifying as being a person who believes in a certain religion. Therefore, I do have a couple of things that you could do that might help you get to that point so that you feel comfortable identifying in the way that you wish to identify. So, if I were you, before I made any sort of commitment to Wicca or witchcraft, I would take a month or two and get a solid beginner's foundation on information about Wicca or witchcraft. Really do a lot of research on the computer if you can. Go to the library and borrow some. I guess we can't go to the library and borrow books because of the lockdown. But if your library is offering maybe like being able to borrow books online or something, you can do that. You can go online and buy books, whether it be ebooks or you can buy hard copies online and get it sent to you. But there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of ways to learn about Wicca. You can look at my YouTube channel among other YouTubers. I find that the education system on witchcraft and Wicca on YouTube is becoming more and more, and there's a lot of good information on here by a lot of reputable Wiccans and witches, so I would definitely look into that as well. And then after you have a general basics of an understanding, you can start practicing it in your real life, and then maybe then you will feel comfortable identifying that way. Another thing that you can do, which I briefly mentioned before as something that I haven't done, it's something that I want to do, but it just hasn't happened yet. But doing a proper year and a day study. Something that I have been contemplating about, but I haven't really done anything with yet, is I've been thinking about creating a year and a day study and have that be something for myself to do, but also something that I could give to you guys as a resource. That way you guys could also do it as well. Because I know that in a lot of covens, one doesn't identify as a Wiccan really until they've completed a year and a day study. So if you think that's more your speed and it's something you'd like to see me do, please let me know down below in the comments. Also, make sure you leave a like if you like videos like this one. If you haven't figured it out, I'm wrapping this video up since I didn't tell you in advance. Make sure you check out my Instagram at Willow Rose Moondancer so you can stay up to date with me in my everyday life. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe because I make videos every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Sunday. And until next time, blessed be.